What is up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new fourth video. And today we're going to be talking about a topic that I've known about for a very long time, ever since, little old me was alive, and that is Teddy Ruxpin. Now, Teddy Ruxpin was one of my many, interests when I was a little kid. I was just a little dumb kid who loved a bunch of random things. And when I was little, I did have one Teddy Ruxpin. Right now, I do have three of them. Because, when you're little and you want something and you can't have it, eventually when you're older and you have money, you do spend a lot of money on it if you are me, which is what I've done. But what I'm talking about today is not those, but it is one of them. Not the ones that I showed you there in that picture, but the 2017 Teddy Ruxpin, which I did get on its release, which I was absolutely ecstatic about. I think this was after I got my original one, which was the Yes Entertainment one that I showed in the middle. But this specific toy has so much random lore and interesting things about it that I really want to talk about. Now, this Teddy Ruxpin released on 2017, which is, I'm pretty sure. And it was originally shown at, I think it was some sort of toy fair. I'll put it up on screen if I figure out the exact one. But it was basically a re-release of the Teddy Ruxpin toy, except in a brand new way. It had LED eyes and it had a whole different design to it. There was an OG version of it with the OG clothes, but he was still orange instead of red, which right now is still really weird to me, because why would you change the colors of him? You really did not have to make him orange, and his eyes were also originally brown and then they changed them to blue. I don't know, they just changed a lot of designs about him that they really didn't need to. And even when they released the toys and when they released the books and all the stories about him, the art was still the old art with the old design, which to me just feels like some sort of lazy thing, because they could have easily just hired new artists to make better designs to match with the storybooks with the toy. But anyways, soon after the release of the Teddy Ruxpin from 2017, there were lots of videos that came out about the production and how they got the rights and, the company, which is Wicked Cool Toys, and how they made this character. And honestly, through these videos, we got to see a lot of things of the Teddy Ruxpin old production, and honestly, let me show you some of them right now.
But so much has changed since I first called Teddy my friend. What I didn't know back then was his unusual origin story. He has connections to Disney theme parks, the Atari video game console, even the pizza empire of Chuck E. Cheese. To shed some light on his world, I visited an unair-conditioned storage facility on the outskirts of Los Angeles that houses treasures from Teddy's past.
This is, it's truly breakthrough.
Okay, so this is the first thing I want to talk about, because I'm pretty much a nerd. I'm just a geek, and this just absolutely fascinates me. Here we can see a picture of the original Teddy Ruxpin mechanics and the creator, whose name is Ken Forsey. These are his drawings, and it's just super cool being able to see what he could do all the way back in 1985. And you can just really tell how talented this man was, even all the way back then. By the way, R.I.P. Ken Forsey. I think he died in 2014 or somewhere in there. Either way, R.I.P. Let's continue the video.
This is treasures from Teddy's past.
This is, it's truly breakthrough. And when you look at it, it still feels breakthrough that he was figuring out, the mechanics to how to animate a teddy bear.
Russell Hicks and Mary Becker were among the first employees at the company that brought Teddy to life. On a table in a cramped hallway, they laid out original artwork, blueprints, news clippings, spin-offs, all of it raw Teddy DNA.
Okay, so this is the part where, I kind of explain on what we're seeing here, just in case for the people that are not really into the lore of Teddy Ruxpin. So basically right here, it's just showing the development. It's all super cool. We get to see early designs of boxes and all that stuff, different colors and stuff. But we also see different spin-offs, because World of Wonder, which is the company that actually made Teddy Ruxpin, also made other products. You might have seen that there was a Mickey one right there, and that's because they collaborated with Disney. This was a huge company back then, and they actually collabed with Disney to make a Teddy Ruxpin version of Mickey Mouse and Goofy. Basically, just like Teddy Ruxpin and Grubby, where they'd connect together. They'd basically, share stories. There was also one of Snoopy and the Peanuts character, Charlie Brown. And honestly, it was just a super cool thing. If you guys want me to go into the rabbit hole of World of Wonder, I will 100% do that. I love this company and everything it's done. But that's basically it showing. There's also some lost media of Teddy Ruxpin. So if this video does good, I might make another one where I explained the lost media of Teddy Ruxpin, which honestly I might do even if this video doesn't do good because of just how cool it is. But let's continue the video.
Each time you hear that sound again, you turn a page, okay?
Teddy's Sweet Little World was an expansive fantasy tale with dozens of characters. There were 60-story cassette tapes with books, but he was also a TV star with his own live-action movie special, and later he had his own cartoon series. The bear's inventor was Ken Forsey. He died in 2014, but these boxes hold the clues to how he created a best-selling toy.
If you wanted to see something like that, you went to Disneyland or some of the big places that had the huge shows, but nobody had it at home.
In fact, it was Disneyland that inspired Teddy's creation.
Okay, so this part basically talks about how Ken Forsey was inspired by Disney, and it is kind of ironic because he did end up actually working with Disney at his company, but I'm gonna skip forward a little bit because something way cooler pops up later into this video. I know this video is titled something about the 2017 Teddy Ruxpin, but trust me guys, this is super cool. If you guys love Teddy Ruxpin or are wanting to get into it, this is going to be super cool. Just watch.
The technology inside was the same technology that eventually over time was shrunk to go into the toy.
Ken's widow, Jan Forsey, keeps the early evolutions of Teddy preserved in cases.
This was the very first prototype where they're trying to decide, can they take an off-the-shelf bear and put the technology in it?
And that prototype became a real toy thanks to funding from a former executive at Atari.
Now, holy crap. Okay, guys, this was an early prototype of Teddy Ruxpin. Now, those two that you saw, the bear at the top and the bear at the bottom, were both prototypes. And, oh my gosh, what I would do to see them run. Oh my gosh, I wish that we could see those prototypes run. If they still work, if they don't, I don't really care. I just would love so much to see them in person. But they're just so cool. There is also another prototype that is not, I don't know if it exists anymore, but from a documentary series that a different YouTuber made. He got into contact with a Worlds of Wonder, employee, former employee, or a good friend of Ken Forsey. I'm not really sure the origin story, but I would show it to you guys here. It's a early video prototype of Teddy Ruxpin, and it's fully working, and oh my gosh, is it cool? I would love to show it to you guys, but unfortunately, YouTube will copyright this video because I do not own it. It is actually owned by a company, and they will take down my video literally as soon as I upload it. But luckily, guys, just search up Teddy Ruxpin prototype on Reddit, and you guys will find it immediately. It is super cool. If you guys love looking at early prototypes and early versions of all your favorite toys and stuff, and all your favorite stuff, it is super cool. I totally recommend you check it out. But
Don Kingsborough was looking for a new project. He fell in love with the Teddy prototype and launched the toy company Worlds of Wonder. He got the bear built and on shelves in just 6 months. In that time, Teddy's creative team whipped up 13 storybooks with songs based on the world that Forsey dreamed up years ago. Voice actor Phil Barron also wrote up many of Teddy's song lyrics and stories.
What made Teddy unique in 1985, I think, is the same thing that makes Teddy unique now. It had certain technological advances. It had a certain life to it that other toys didn't have.
A puppeteer used a joystick to program Teddy's snout and jaw. His eye movements were programmed last. No one had ever seen a toy with realistic expressions talking directly to a child. Teddies flew off shelves, parents paying $70 a pop. But the magic spell was soon broken. 3 years after launch, a mix of business troubles led to Teddy's demise. Competition flooded stores with talking dolls, and Teddy's voice was drowned out. Since then, the original Teddy creators tried to bring him back, working with other toy companies. They managed to put him on shelves 3 times, but he just couldn't stick.
Teddy, over the years, has had failures. It was always basically because of management, not because of the toy.
Now, another toy company is trying again, this time with a whole new look.
It's a brand that has an emotion.
All right, so this next segment, I mean, it showed basically the voice of Teddy Ruxpin, which is super cool. And also like some of the recording and art. But this is where we finally get to see some prototypes and early designs of the 2017 Teddy Ruxpin. Now, this is where I'm going to get a little bit mad, but let's begin with the first one. All right, so the first one here on the top right is the one I want to talk about, because the rest of them, the one at the bottom left looks absolutely horrendous, and the top left and the bottom right, those are basically the designs that came out. But the one on the top right, I mean, it sticks so much to the original design, but I mean, it does look newer and it looks good. And there are other images of the actual bear from this design, which if I get the picture, I'm gonna pop it up here, because there's another video that shows up more prototypes. There's a picture, but that would have been perfect. That design would have been absolutely fantastic. That would have been the best design. But instead they went with a completely new one that barely even resembles Teddy Ruxpin. Honestly, if you didn't tell me it was Teddy Ruxpin and there was no logo on it, I would not be able to tell. Especially as a die-hard fan of Teddy Ruxpin, I would not be able to tell. And this design is just, oh, it's so good. And they just completely ruined it. And I mean, not like they can change it now. The toy's completely discontinued. But I just wish they picked that one. And I mean, nothing will ever fill my hole for wanting a new Teddy Ruxpin. Pause. But now we move on from this video and move on to the second video, which is where I actually got that photo from, which shows more of the production and behind the scenes of the actual 2017 Teddy Ruxpin instead of the old Teddy Ruxpin. But this is also going to be me yapping and like absolutely roasting the F out of this company, and also bringing up how beautiful that design was. Oh my gosh, I wish they kept that. But let's go.
If they want to win over today's young parents with nostalgia, why did they change so much about him?
My name is Teddy Ruxpin. Can you and I be friends?
To get some answers, I visited Carrie Volponi, the designer of the new Teddy for Wicked Cool Toys, which bought the rights to bring back the bear. It took a little over a year to make Teddy 2.0.
All right, guys, I know you already saw the beautiful design of the, what could have been Teddy Ruxpin, but guys, I just want to talk to you about this. Look at how perfect this one looks, and just look at that one. What is that? What even is that, guys? I get it's a prototype, but oh my gosh. All right, let's move on.
And in that time, designers cycled through a number of outfits, snouts, and fur.
We looked at, possibly having him wear glasses.
Wait, he could have been a hipster Teddy?
He could have been a hipster Teddy. We didn't go that way in the end. He could have been sort of a surfer Teddy in a t-shirt as well.
The company mission was to make the old bear trendy for today's iPad-toting toddlers. His new price tag, $100.
Are we dead ass right now? Bro, look at that, bro. Are we being dead ass right now? I know it's a fucking prototype, bro. Holy shit, bro. Y'all know the fucking looks maxing thing, bro? You know what? I'm gonna do a looks maxing edit of both those fucking Teddy Ruxpins, bro. Let's be dead ass right now.
All the old book art is used for the app, which of course does not match with Teddy's new threads.
we've had a lot of fans ask us why we changed Teddy at all. Why didn't we go back to the original design of Teddy Ruxpin? And it was sort of tried in 1994. Didn't really work at the time. We think that we needed to update the technology and make him speak to a modern kid who didn't have the experience in 1985.
Okay, well, the Yes Entertainment one was basically the Worlds of Wonder one, but with a different type of clothing, okay? It's the same exact thing, but that prototype that I just showed there, that she made, that was new. It looked like Teddy Ruxpin. It looked like what Ken Forsey created, but it was just different. It's different enough to where it looks modern. It looks cartoony, but it doesn't look like a completely different character. It doesn't look like Indiana fucking Jones, all right? Now, any of you guys commenting right now, it's just a kid's toy, you can go ahead and... Nah, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to shut up here, but let me rant about what I want to rant about, okay? Let's finish the video.
There are more than 40 eye animations that pair with what he says in the books, giving him a cartoonish personality. It's not the first time the company has tinkered with screen eyes, as revealed in this prototype for last year's Cabbage Patch Kids Baby So Real doll. The Cabbage Patch doll's eyes were pretty far back, protected by moving eyelids when turned off. But Teddy has no eyelids. When he's inactive and turns off, his eyes become empty nothing.
Nothing speaks child-friendly like some dark eyes staring into your soul saying, I want to get out. Now, I'm just playing, but that's not the entire video, but that's basically that entire video. But yeah, that was basically the entire process, or at least the entire process that we know of the Teddy Ruxpin, prototypes and how it was made. But now I'm going to move on to the Teddy Ruxpin show. Now, if you guys know Teddy Ruxpin, you know back in the day, he had his whole animated cartoon series, which first started off as a live-action movie, as a pilot episode, which I'm going to also make another video about. Also, that Cabbage Patch Kids, there's a whole another rabbit hole that, unless you were a really weird kid, you don't know about, but I'm going to make a video about that. You might be wondering, why the hell would I make a video about Cabbage Patch Kids? You'll find out if you hit that subscribe button. Cheeky little sneak in there. Anyways, basically, it was a whole series. Yes, if you're asking, I have watched the whole series. Peak. The animation is a little choppy, but I guess it's okay for what it is. But, they are actually trying to bring it back, or not currently trying to bring it back. They were trying to bring it back, and they failed, obviously, because that there's not a new animated Teddy Ruxpin show, and they were going to use the new design, or at least kind of. You're going to see what I'm talking about, but it was a 3D animated show that was going to be created with Teddy Ruxpin, or the new design of Teddy Ruxpin. And you might be wondering how we know this. Well, it was announced, but it was never released until we got a pilot of the show. So it was not a full pilot, but it was more of a test animation of what the show was going to look like. No, there was no Grubby in it. There was no, God damn it, I haven't freaking watched Teddy Ruxpin in so long. The old man in it, he was not in it. So it was just Teddy Ruxpin, and it looked horrible. I can see why they did not go on with it. It was so bad. So I'm just going to show it to you guys, and you're going to tell me what you guys think.
Dream with me today. Oh, hi there, friend. It's me, Teddy Ruxpin. You're just in time. My friends and I are about to head off to search for a hidden treasure in the hard-to-find city. We have this treasure map and these beautiful crystals. Now all we need is you. So come on, let's go have the adventure of a lifetime!
Okay, so I want to give credit to the Teddy Ruxpin channel for actually providing that, but oh my gosh, why is his freaking shirt blue now? I don't know, they can't pick between red, orange, or blue, or technically cyan. Man, who cares, it's just a different shade of blue. But, I mean, You guys can just see for yourselves, this is just a complete mess. You can tell it would have just been a lazy cash grab and not a good one, because it wouldn't even gotten a lot of cash, especially with this horrendous new Teddy Ruxpin look. It definitely would have not been watched by, you know, people nostalgic for Teddy Ruxpin, because there's no nostalgia. It's just soulless corporate greed. But yeah, after that, they just made some random plushies, and they technically brought Grubby back, but in a plush form. But honestly, they should have just made an animatronic Grubby, or at least did something. But after that second batch of toys, they really never came back, and now Teddy Ruxpin has fallen out of the public eye and is now fallen into the obscurity and depths of the internet once again. So, tell me if you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you guys were a fan of Teddy Ruxpin, or if this is your first video of getting into the deep rabbit hole. And if you guys want any more Teddy Ruxpin videos, I will be making some more. And if you don't, then watch them anyways, because I think they're cool. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video, which, man, I don't even know what it's gonna be. I just make random stuff. But yeah, peace.